Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the windswept Broadmeadow racetrack for the running of the 1990 Winfield Newcastle Gold Cup. They're at the barriers now. Gary Harley, welcome to you to the market for the Winfield Gold Cup of 1991.
Thank you, Mike. From the top, Equidity at 5, Sound Horizon 12, Coconut Eye 16, Ecliptic 6, Hammond 15, Galilei 6, Rural Prince has been the best backed horse in the race, 7-2, Shyness 14, Willie Tell at 12, Off the Record 16, Church Street 20, Garter King 12. There's been very good money for Tommy Smith's second string Maharaja, 8-1, Shane Dye in the saddle, Siegfried 14, Star Bazaar 16, 50 Tredegar Lad and Destiny Boy.
And I know you're real keen on Rural Prince.
Yes, and I'm even more confident after speaking to the jockey.
What's your trifecta?
I like Rural Prince to beat Equidity and Ecliptic for third.
Gary, how important again is this breeze going to be going out of the straight the first time and then, of course, coming home? They've still got another 400 metres to run straight into the head breeze.
Well, Mike, yesterday's pattern of racing, you had to be up on the pace. It appeared the same way today, but a couple of those races earlier, So Heroic came from near last, and there was another one a minute ago that come out deep heat last in the field, so maybe it's not as important as it was yesterday.
Of course, a couple of interesting clashes today. We see the clash of the Cassidy brothers.
Yes, both very competitive. Jim and Larry. Jim's the more outspoken and the more brazen of the two. The other boy's a little bit quieter, but he's a typical Kiwi and he knows how to ride. 2,300
metres. Of course, a lot of these horses have run that distance before. Of the locals, who do you rate a chance?
Oh, Mike, I can't see any of those figuring in the money at all. I really think Rural Prince will win. He's a grey horse, Rural Prince, and so's Galilei. They're the two greys in the field.
All right, the field's nearly into the barriers now. Let's pick up the call of the 1991 Winfield Newcastle Gold Cup. Here's your caller, Johnny McDermott.
And no doubt today would go past the 7,000 mark. We'd like to welcome our NBN Channel 3 audience, who are again taking the Cup live, Radio 2HD in Newcastle, also Radio Pacific, and other relay stations joining us here for the coverage of the Newcastle Gold Cup. It's been a great guide over the years, the Newcastle Gold Cup, on the prospects for the Caulfield and the Melbourne Cup. And we've seen some very good horses win the Gold Cup the last few years, right back. Now everything seems to be okay with Off the Record. It's the only one to move up into line. Just adjusting that plate on Off the Record. It's a marvellous thing when you get anything to go wrong, everything will go wrong. And it's just been one of those days today. Now this should be a great race. Now the rider of Off the Record is about to hop back aboard. All these runners have stood in beautifully. Destiny Boy, Sound Horizon, Tredegar Lad, Rural Prince, Garter King, Maharaja. Also Hammond, Star Bazaar, Shyness, Ecliptic, Coconut Ice, Equidity, Willie Tell, Siegfried, Church Street and Galilei. I think they've just about set here with this fellow Off the Record. These runners are perfectly behaved in the gates. So with the 2,300 metres, and certainly a big field to witness this year's running of the Newcastle Winfield Gold Cup. Now come on Off the Record, you're the one to come in. I think they've just about got him now. Got that plate adjustment. I said it was only a minor plate adjustment, but Winfield Newcastle Gold Cup, 2,300 metres the journey. The light is on, and the starter ready to send them off. Ready to go now. Rider of Off the Record set. Starter has a final look at them. He's happy with them. Has the button. Ready now. So be it. Stalls opened. Off and running. Rural Prince towards the inside, jumped away well. Destiny Boy given a crack with a whip in the early stages and coming across with a great turn of speed. Willie Tell towards the judge the first time, led from Maharaja, Destiny Boy. Hammond was 4 deep, followed by Coconut Ice, Ecliptic. Now on the inside, Sound Horizon, Garter King. Back on the inside, Rural Prince, followed by Equidity, down and out of the straight. And then came Star Bazaar, followed by Tredegar Lad. Around the outside, Shyness, Siegfried off the track. flag, and a fair way back behind them there was Church Street, and well back in the field was Galilei as they go down and out of the straight, and about second last there was Off the Record. They go towards the 1700 metre marker, and sweeping around the outside, Siegfried has taken the lead. It's Siegfried about 2 lengths to Destiny Boy. Hammered is third, then Coconut Ice Maharaja. Ecliptic beautifully placed on the outside, followed by Willie Teller. A length away to Sound Horizon as they're in the back straight towards the 1400. And then over on the inside there was Rural Prince. On the outside, Sound Horizon. 2 lengths away to Garter King, acquitted to the outside. And then came Shyness. Another 2 lengths in the field came Star Bazaar. Back on the inside, Tradiga Lad, Church Street. Off the Record, second last. And Galilei 3 lengths away at the turn of the field. They're in the back straight in the cover. 1100 to go. And the leader, Coconut Eye, shows the way to Siegfried. Third, Destiny Boy. They were followed over on the outside by Hammond, Willie Tell, Maharaja. Ecliptic 3 deep goes around them, followed by Rural Prince, and then came Sound Horizon. They were followed over on the inside of those runners by Garter King. A length and a half to Equidity. They were followed by Star Bazaar. A fair way back to the Giga Lad, followed by Church Street. A neck away to Off the Record, and a neck back on the outside. At the tail of the field was Galilei. Towards the 600 in the Winfield Gold Cup. And still the leader, Coconut Ice. Siegfried joins it, Ecliptic, and going up quickly, Shyness. Rural Prince is working into it nicely, followed by Willie Tell looking for runners. They stack into the straight. And then on the outside was Star Bazaar. And then Sound Horizon pulled to the outside, and right down the outside, Galileo coming with a great run. They've got about 300 to go, where the leader now was Coconut Ice. Rural Prince, Ecliptic has gone to the front, and right down the outside, Galileo's coming with a swamping run. The leader, Coconut Ice, Ecliptic. In third place, coming at them, Rural Prince, and Maharaja's flying. Maharaja's hit the lead in the cup, and Maharaja from Ecliptic. Coconut Ice and Rural Prince, Galilei, and then came Off the Record, followed by Garter King. The next one in there was Star Bazaar. Then came back behind them Willie Tell, Tradiga Lad. The next one in there was well back in the field was Shyness. And then came Siegfried, Equidity, Church Street, Hammond. Well back to finish was Star Bazaar. Up there with them Destiny Boy and Sound Horizon last in this year's Winfield Gold Cup.
Well, Gary Harley, you picked at Maharaja. There was an enormous amount of money for him, but what a run down the outside.
Yes, it was heavily backed in another big race to Shane Dye. That's the grey Rural Prince ranging up outside. Ecliptic Rural Prince looked the winner at this stage. And when we come to a wider shot, you'll see the other grey, Galilei, joining in. The greys look like they'd fight it out, but Maharaja, there he is coming between them now in the yellow cap. Shane Dye wielding the whip, takes the lead, and he goes on to win from Ecliptic, and it's very close for third between the two greys, Rural Prince and Galilei.
There's no doubt about RS Dye.
Oh, he's a freak, mate. We had a talk to him earlier. He said he thought the horse would be more seasoned next year, but he still gave him a rough each-way chance. The horse raced on Saturday. He backed up again, and that's Tommy Smith's 7th Newcastle Cup.
Gary, thanks for